Welcome to Parenting Trap, episode 24. Hi, welcome Parenting Trap. We're going to start off this episode by first introducing our sponsor, Paloma Verde. Carlos and Vanessa from San Antonio, Texas, make these amazing CBD products. All different kinds of stuff. There's soft gels, there's tinctures, they make gummies, tons of different things, and it's all very good quality.
And it's good for anxiety, right?
Anxiety, it's good for relaxing if you need a little bit of help getting to sleep at night. And they're all THC free, really high quality CBD products. So I highly recommend you go check them out. You can go, if you go to their website, you can get $25 off any order, $75 or more, if you use the code PT25. So PT25, and you'll get 25% off. So go check them out and give them a try. It's a really good company, really kind people, and
they're so awesome.
We'd
so really appreciate it. Yeah. If you could order from them.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. And if you're supporting them, you're supporting us. So that would be awesome. Okay. Yes. So to get into the show today, we're going to be talking. You want to introduce this one?
Sure. Yeah. So we were thinking about talking. Oh God, we are going to talk about why you don't ask your kids a question you know the answer to.
That's right. There you go. So
I'm sorry. For everyone watching, it is very early in the morning and I went to bed late last night and I set my alarm. So my brain is not functioning at a very quick speed right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So hopefully we can get through this quickly so you can go back to sleep for a little while and get some extra rest.
Right.
But yeah, so question, you don't ask your kids questions you already know the answer to. This one, I see parents do this a lot, and I find it really interesting because I think sometimes I wonder whether parents are doing this, trying to give their children like an opportunity to tell the truth. But you're really just setting your child up for failure if you think they are going to lie to you. Well, what you would say lying. I wouldn't even necessarily call it lying, but we can talk about that a little bit too. And it's just not a very nice thing to do. If you know, like, for example, if you go to your 4-year-old and you say, did you eat the cupcake off the counter? And you know that they did. There's no one else in the house. Yeah, there's icing all over their face, and you're pretty sure they ate the cupcake. You don't need to ask them that question. You can approach the situation knowing the answer already. And if you're trying to do like a double whammy of, did you eat that cupcake? Trying to give them some opportunity to, quote, tell the truth, and they say no, and then you punish them for that, then you are further incentivizing your child to lie in the future, or to be more sneaky and like try to lie better. And they're not going to want to tell you the truth if they're going to constantly get in trouble for the thing, especially if they do tell you the truth. Sometimes the kid will be like, yeah. And then you're like, I can't believe you ate that cupcake. So there's a lot of information here to kind of start to unravel, but we can talk about each little step here.
Yeah. I think, you summed it up nicely. You don't want to set them up for failure, and we are all going to act in our best interest. So if the child thinks that something bad will happen, then like you said, they're not going to want to tell the truth. So, and they don't have the maturity to understand that you know the answer to that. You're going to make them better at lying, which I don't think any parent wants. If you do stuff like that, then they'll just get better at it. And I think the other thing is, if they do lie, um, instead of focusing on the lying, I think it's more important to focus on the reason they did. So I just wouldn't set them up to begin with, but if you happen to set them up accidentally, um, then if they lie, the real question is, why are they doing that?
Yeah. Why do they feel like they need to tell you that they did not eat that cupcake or whatever else it might be? I've seen parents even ask questions like, "Did you hit your friend? You were sitting right there and you saw it," or and it's just that that happened. And if your kid is, sometimes I think parents know that their kids are going to lie, like they want to get the kid in trouble for the lying, not even the thing that they're setting them up
Well, it's
to
like
lie about, which is weird.
I don't know if they want to. I just think it's like it's
Yeah,
instinct, 'cause that's
it's
the
instant.
way a lot of us were raised. And a lot of times I think it shocks us. Like it gives us a moment to respond because we're like, wait a minute, what just happened? And so it gives us a minute to be like, okay, how am I going to deal with this situation?
That's
Um,
true.
and I would say the way to deal with that situation is just neutrally, and it gives you more information. Now you know that your kid doesn't have the impulse control in that exact moment to handle whatever that stimulus was. And it's up to us to avoid that if it's a problem. Maybe it's not a problem. Maybe it was okay that he ate the cupcake or whatever happened. But if it is a problem, then that's on us to avoid that. How, like, make sure the child cannot do that, cannot annoy us.
Yes, yes, not annoy us. And if we don't want them eating cupcakes, it's not our child's responsibility to make sure that they don't eat the cupcake. It's our responsibility to notice, oh, I see you eat that cupcake. Okay, I wanted those for after dinner. I'm going to put them, in a cupboard, and you put them out of reach. So that would kind of be the practical solution to that specific instance.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard to remember, and we talk about it all the time, but the solutions are always in us. It's not in trying to change your child or their behavior. What you're doing is you're making things inaccessible to your child, or you're putting boundaries, physical boundaries up that create a situation so those instances don't happen so often. And
And this
if
is this
it's
is supporting them. So doing this, like you said, when you meet the child where they are, this is meeting them where they are. You're setting them up for success when you do these things. I
Yeah.
was going to say something else, but I'm trying to think of what it was. Uh, I don't know.
Yeah. No, but you're right. It's setting them up for success. And if you consistently set them up for failure and lying, then as you said before, that teaches them to lie better. It will just incentivize them to try and get away with it better the next time. Because if you're saying, I know you're lying to me, now go to your room, and you
Mhm.
punish them, that's um, that's going to make them want to not get caught next time. It
Yes.
doesn't actually stop, it won't stop them. They don't necessarily all of a sudden now have impulse control to not eat that cupcake. They're just going to try and do it a little bit better the next time, or try and figure out a way to blame someone else instead of getting caught themselves, if
Yep.
that makes sense. I
Um,
remember an instance when we were young. Alex, do you remember
yeah.
this?
I don't know.
The name where I
Oh,
wrote
yes.
your name on I had written, we were really young. Honestly, I don't remember the age so much, but I was probably like 3 or 4, maybe, I don't know.
Hmm.
And I wrote your name on the stairs in like crayon.
Yep. We had
And
wooden stairs, and you wrote my name in crayon.
yeah, so
I'm
I was
3 years
super
older.
clever. Yeah, I was super clever. I didn't want to get in trouble for writing on the stairs. So
I
I wrote
actually
my sister's name.
I actually don't know if that's why you did it, because you were
That's
young
true.
enough. You might have just been practicing writing, and I'm 3 years older, so my name has way less letters, right? You were
Yeah,
probably seeing that, like you were probably seeing me practice it because I was going to school. Um,
that's
and
true.
but Yep, but my parents got me in trouble. Like I'm the one that got in trouble, and I'm pretty sure I got spanked for that one. Like I was in trouble. I definitely got sent to my room. And I was so upset, and I kept crying, saying, "It's not even in my handwriting. Like it was in your didn't even look like my it was obviously all scribbly. But my parents, they didn't care. And they thought I was lying, I guess. I don't know. So what I did, because I was 3 years older, is I waited a long time. I don't know how much longer, but in my head, like I was planning my revenge. And I waited a while so it wouldn't be obvious that it was revenge. And I wrote Barbara's name, and in her handwriting, like I tried to make it look like all scribbly. Um, in chalk on the fireplace, on the brick on the fireplace. And then you got in trouble. And then you were crying and saying it wasn't you. And I was thinking to myself, see how it feels, which is not a good way to deal with it. But,
No.
and that's the thing is the kids do that. Like, I feel bad about that. I don't think that's right that I got you in trouble because you got me in trouble. But those are the kinds of things that kids do when you have punishments and rewards, when you give this
Mhm.
external um, extrinsic motivations, when you try and manipulate behavior in that way, they start to think of life in that way. And I think that's when you start getting kids that are like, okay, well, now I want revenge. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how destructive is that?
It is very destructive. And not only is it destructive in the sense that it starts to unravel your relationship with your child, and you'll start to see those kinds of behaviors more and more. But it also, like in this particular instance, it actually pitted us two against one another,
Yeah,
which you
it
don't want to
eroded
do with your
our.
children.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you want your children to have a good relationship with their siblings, and you
Yeah.
want to have a good relationship with your child. We got to think long term here. And it's not easy. It's not easy to see our children do things, and we want them to be honest, and we want them to tell the truth, and we want them to be able to, I don't know, function in life the way that, in a collaborative way, without lying or trying to blame someone else for something because they wanted to do something. They don't want to get in trouble for it. And if you
Yeah.
eliminate all of that, then you'll build a relationship of honesty with your child.
Yes.
And in the
Yes.
long run, it's better.
Yes. I don't use punishments and rewards. And uh, when my oldest went to school, I remember his kindergarten and first grade teacher um, complimented me, or I don't know if they complimented me, but they were more complimenting him or impressed by him, because when things would happen sometimes in class, like one time all the kids were building a tower and he got upset for some reason and he knocked it over, and then everyone in the class was mad at him, and the teacher came in and said, what happened? And everyone said, Jamie knocked over the tower. And she said, is that true? And Jamie said, yes, he told the truth because there was no reason to lie. And then she said, well, why did you do that? And he said, because I was mad. And I feel like he felt safe telling the truth because we don't use punishments or rewards. And she was just amazed because most kids that age will lie because they think they're going to get in trouble.
Yeah, that's a great example. Such a good example. And, right now we're talking about young kids where, the consequences of their decisions and the consequences of them, let's say, playing with this reality. We kind of didn't talk about this, but they'll sometimes play with reality. They'll say something like, oh, no, I didn't eat the cupcake, because whether or not they think they're going to get in trouble, but sometimes they want to believe that they didn't. They want to believe that there's maybe more cupcakes. They're seeing if they can say words and whether those words can actually affect their reality. So it's more of this exploration. If you think about it as an exploration, then we don't have those negative attributes to our child.
Yeah.
And in the long run, when our child's making very important decisions, they're teenagers, and you want to know what's going on in their life. If they haven't gotten in trouble consistently for telling you the truth, they're going to be more inclined to tell you the truth. And
Yeah.
so if you want to know, they're going to come to you for help. Um, if you want to know something along the lines of, like, when they're teenagers, oh, you're going to a party with your friends on Friday. Do you think there's going to be alcohol there? Because if there is, I want you to give me a call to make sure I can come make sure that everyone's safe. Pick, I'm here to drive or whatever. They're going to be more likely to tell you than lie about those things, the really big decisions later on.
Yes,
So
we need to
it's
start developing those trusting relationships now. We need to be safe people for them now. And if we use punishments, they are not going to feel safe with
yeah,
us right now, and that's going to stick with them. So when the decisions get bigger, um, uh, then yeah, that's when it really counts. So let them
yeah,
eat the cupcake and don't call them out on lies. And
yeah,
you can say the facts like, oh, I see you ate the cupcakes. I'll put them away. Those are for after dinner. Whatever it is, but you just roll with it and support them, and they eventually will learn. They're going to grow out of this phase. It's a developmental thing. It's not, kids do these things not because they um, don't know, because they haven't been taught. They do them because they don't have the impulse control and maturity, and that comes with time. That doesn't come with um, us like trying to force that on them at an earlier age through
exactly.
these punishment and reward tactics.
Right. And that's the kind of the irony of it. I think some parents think that they're teaching their child to be honest by using punishments and getting mad at their child when they quote lie. But and it's exactly the opposite. It's the other way around. You're just gonna incentivize your child to protect themselves and lie better.
Yep.
Um, it's a really, yeah, it's interesting. It can be a tough and challenging phase of children kind of exploring this reality. And of course we want children that grow up to be honest and thoughtful people. And if we treat them that way, I think that's another thing we didn't really touch on, but um, don't lie to your child if they ask you a question. Uh, be honest with them, because I've seen that too, where, it's like, I want a cookie. We don't have any cookies. I can see the package right there. And it's like the
Yep.
kid knows,
I
so
remember
often
you
they
opened
know.
it last night too, right?
I
Even
remember,
if it's,
yeah,
I remember seeing you get it at the grocery store. They are not stupid, and when we treat them like they are, um, it can cause yeah, it's not good. I'm like,
yeah. I mean,
you
that's
have,
gaslighting. That's flat out gaslighting. That's an example of like, nope, you didn't see the cookies. I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah,
And that's
yeah, and
not
it
a
makes
nice
them
way to treat
question.
someone.
No, it's not. And they trust us so much. And when we do that,
Yeah,
it violates that every single time. And it might not seem like a big deal, but it definitely adds up.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So even if it seems like the easier way out, like, oh, if I just tell them we don't have them, then I won't get the upset, the big, meltdown when I don't give it to them. It's much better you say, we're not eating those right now. And don't make them question their own reality. Stay, if you don't want them to lie, um, and then don't do it yourself. We have to model the people we want them to be.
Yeah,
We need to model the people we want them to be. That's the best way to
yeah.
teach them.
It
Mhm.
is. It is. That's so true. Yeah, um, that's a lot. And I don't know if there's anything else you want to add, but this is an important one to me for sure. And I think it should be an important one to every parent out there. So
Yes, yes. Um, yeah, I think that's it.
awesome. Well, then we'll let you go. And it was really great. And we'll see you guys soon.